Actually, VW surprised with a gain, tiny as it was. It's never been a huge player in the U.S. market anyway.
Yeah, you know, they did join in the party in that, like everyone else, they beat estimates and soundly. But as expected, far slower pace of growth than we saw with everyone else. Like you said, GM had sort of the big automakers, the Japanese and the Americans, had the slowest growth at 7%, and VW was half that at 6%. Or if you look just at the VW brand, they're up about 0.5%, 0.6%, when analysts were expecting a 6 to 7% drop. So, you know, a nice beat. The Golf did well, continues to do well. They've really expanded that line, but certainly not participating in the same growth. They're going to lose market share again this month, and as the troubles just continue for the brand and the company.
Hang on, just to recap, GM was 12.5%, right? Growth.
Yeah,
and Ford was 23, Fiat Chrysler 14. So they're all double digits, and Ford really coming up from a lower bar.
Yeah, Ford had easier comps from before, and they're running both of their F-150 plants at full blast for now, as long as they don't get striked by the UAW next week. But for now, they've got all those aluminum-bodied F-150s, and they're selling them like crazy.
So that's the story with Ford. Is it really about light trucks here across the board when you talk about U.S. automakers, Jamie?
Yeah, light trucks broadly, right? Because it's the pickups where Ford is doing very well with the F-Series, and also the SUVs, the Edge, Escape, Explorer. That really is a vital part of Ford's business, as it is for the whole industry. The crossover utilities and the truck-based utilities, very, very important.
Hey, you mentioned the UAW story, kind of with a chuckle, but that really, I think, stole the spotlight almost of the sales numbers today. Big question mark. If they can't agree with Fiat Chrysler, and they were hoping to get the juiciest deal from Sergio, how are they going to get a better deal from Barra or from Fields? It doesn't seem to make much sense.
Well, you know, it's sort of so Dennis Williams at the UAW took sort of a counterintuitive strategy. Traditionally, you go to the healthiest automaker first and try to get the best deal you can, and then as best you can, you know, force the other two into taking the same deal. He went a different route, went to Sergio, which actually has the weakest company right now, and then figured he could get sweeteners added by GM and Ford. But maybe the problem with going to the weakest one, and you're kind of taking the worst deal you would accept. And the members did not like that deal. Maybe their expectations were too high. I mean, there were raises for everybody, signing bonuses, a lot of positives for the workers in that, but not as much as they had come to expect. And so, you know, we see a really sound rejection of that at Fiat Chrysler. And so then it's up, does the UAW want to go back to Sergio and try to get more, or do they want to move on to Ford or GM, where maybe they can get a better deal, have a better conversation with their members, and get something passed?
Why did Williams go to Fiat first? I mean, is he friends with Marchioni? Did he think that he could? I mean, they have the most Tier 2 workers, right?
That's right. Well, they have, he hasn't told us, right? He has not explained his choice of that, but he has said, and they've demonstrated over the years, they do have a good working relationship. They've dealt with each other a lot over the years. And, you know, there are a lot of workers who really wanted to get rid of this two-tier system so that, you know, the people who were hired since '07 get less benefits and less pay, even though they do the same job and work side by side with only slightly older workers, you know, who were hired under the old contracts. Sergio Marchioni really wanted to get rid of that and kind of make it all one. So do the members, but the way they want to do it, right, is completely different. Marchioni had wanted to pull down all the highly paid, you know, $60,000 a year guys, and the UAW wanted to lift everybody up to the $60,000 wage. So what they did was give both a raise, but kept them still separate. That didn't sit well with the members, who really wanted to, somehow thought they would all come up to $30 an hour. So it'll be really curious what they can do to try to get these members to want to go. A lot of, you know, they haven't struck for a long time, and they feel like they've made a lot of sacrifices. The companies are making a lot of money, the sales are doing great, and they want some payback.
Jamie, you know, we've talked about the effect of energy prices on the U.S. economy writ large for months now, and I wonder, when you look at these reports today, how's that affecting things?
Oh, gosh, David, it's been going on for like a year, more than a year. That it's really propelled people into the SUVs, and it's probably helping the pickup sales, too, as we see more going on in housing. But we're so good, the engineers are so much better now at making SUVs on car platforms. So you have all that extra utility. You give up a little bit of fuel economy, but now people are like, $2 gas, $2.50, even $3 gas. I'd take my chances with giving up a little fuel economy to have a lot more trunk space or a third row of seats.
And you can finance it for 7 years with no down payment. Why not stretch yourself out and buy more car than you could possibly afford right now? It's just so much fun to drive, and we'll take our chances, right, and feel the effects of it later.